Most people frame Microsoft's AI strategy as one giant OpenAI wager. That description misses how Microsoft can get paid. When a company adopts AI, Microsoft reaches three different layers. Azure sells the computing and data services underneath. GitHub and Foundry serve the teams building new systems. Copilot adds a paid layer inside familiar workplace software. Microsoft can also benefit when OpenAI grows. Yet the bill still arrives first. It includes chips, data centers, electricity, inference, and asset depreciation. So Microsoft's presence in AI is not the question. The harder question is what happens next. Can those three toll booths outgrow the factory beneath them? Our AI bubble episode followed money across the boom. NVIDIA showed us the shovel seller. Microsoft occupies the next link. It buys infrastructure while also building its own. Then Microsoft rents cloud capacity to model companies and enterprises. Developer tool, let customers build on that foundation. Finally, Microsoft monetizes AI again inside daily work. This machine differs sharply from selling chips or chatbots. Its story begins with one number Microsoft does not fully disclose. In the latest reported quarter, ending March 2026, Microsoft generated almost $83 billion in revenue. Management said its AI business had crossed a $37 billion annual revenue run rate. Compared with 1 year earlier, that annualized pace had more than doubled. Still, a run rate is not GAAP product revenue. Microsoft does not reveal how that figure divides across its products. Those products include Azure AI, Microsoft 365 Copilot, GitHub Copilot, security, and more. The scale is impressive, but the product mix remains hidden. To understand the machine, we must rebuild its three layers. The bottom layer is Microsoft Azure. For that quarter, Microsoft Cloud revenue reached $54.5 billion. Separately, Azure and other cloud services grew 40% year over year. But that growth metric covers more than standalone Azure computing. Microsoft withholds an absolute Azure revenue figure. The commercial mechanism is still clear. Foundry customers can buy model tokens, reserved throughput, and supporting services. A production AI system may need databases, analytics, search, and storage. Now add networking, security, and governance. Microsoft is not merely renting a graphics processor. It meters the factory surrounding that hardware. Copilot sits at this stack's top. Microsoft can upsell an enterprise relationship it already owns. Microsoft 365 Copilot passed 20 million paid seats in March. 1 quarter earlier, Microsoft reported over 450 million paid commercial Microsoft 365 seats. The snapshots are not perfectly contemporaneous, so this comparison is imperfect. Even so, implied penetration remains in the mid-single digits. At the $30 enterprise list price, 20 million seats imply $7.2 billion annually. This shows illustrative list price potential, not reported revenue. Plans, discounts, timing, and billing can change actual revenue. The opportunity is remaining headroom. The builder layer connects the Office desk with Azure. GitHub Copilot had over 4.7 million paid subscribers in December. By March, nearly 140,000 organizations were using it. Its economics now extend beyond simple seat pricing. Paid plans include the core coding assistance. Model-heavy features can also consume metered credits. Foundry creates another path, because customers are not restricted to OpenAI. Over 10,000 Foundry customers had used multiple models. 5,000 had used open-source models. That flexibility attracts builders, even when the leading model changes. Now place OpenAI in the correct role. Microsoft does not own OpenAI. Their relationship combines a major shareholding, technology licensing, cloud services, and revenue sharing. During the October 2025 recapitalization, Microsoft's stake was valued near $135 billion. After conversion and dilution, that represented roughly 27%. That value was on paper, not product revenue. Under the April 2026 amendment, Microsoft remains OpenAI's primary cloud partner. OpenAI may serve products through other clouds. Microsoft's non-exclusive OpenAI IP license continues through 2032. OpenAI also pays Microsoft a revenue share through 2030. The official percentage remains undisclosed. The cap remains undisclosed as well. OpenAI amplifies Microsoft's business machine, but it also creates a dependency. Now consider the cost engine. Microsoft recorded $31.9 billion of capital expenditure in one quarter. That build-out supports both AI and non-AI demand. Roughly two-thirds funded short-lived assets, mainly GPUs and CPUs. Operating cash flow still increased 26%, yet free cash flow fell about 22%. Infrastructure spending had grown faster. Here, free cash flow means operating cash flow minus cash additions to property and equipment. Microsoft Cloud gross margin fell from 69 to 66% year over year. The business is still expanding. Its factory bill is already visible in cash flow and margins. Now watch the flywheel Microsoft wants to build. An enterprise already uses Microsoft identities and permissions. Its documents, meetings, security, and procurement relationships are already there. That gives Copilot a direct path onto the desk. Developers use GitHub and Foundry for custom applications. Those systems can draw data and production workloads into Azure. Deeper integration makes the whole stack harder to replace. But the accounting must stay honest. Internal Copilot inference does not automatically become external Azure revenue. Strategic reinforcement still is not a cash payment. Only paid activity completes the flywheel. That means seats, consumption, renewals, and cross-selling. This structure reveals Microsoft's strongest competitive advantage. Microsoft may never own the single best model permanently. That distinction may not matter over time. The valuable position is the path into governed work. Durable rails include identity, organizational context, and permissions. Compliance, administration, and developer tools reinforce those rails. So do habits formed around Microsoft 365 and GitHub. Foundry can swap the model tile, while enterprise rails remain. Customers can still choose another provider. Their data does not automatically train Microsoft's models. But the costliest part of leaving may sit above the model. The hidden dependencies sit beneath and beside those enterprise rails. Microsoft needs chips, servers, networking, permitted land, predictable energy, cooling, and water. It also relies on a limited supplier base. Management said Azure demand still exceeded available capacity. Cloud and AI capacity could remain constrained. That constraint may last through at least the end of calendar 2026. OpenAI can now route more products through competing clouds. Microsoft is hedging with proprietary models and a wider catalog. One final dependency matters even more. Customers must receive enough useful work from AI. Otherwise, they will not keep renewing and expanding. Use 4 tests to judge the machine. First, paid value. Do Copilot seats sustain usage, renewals, and expansion? Or do customers cut them as experiments? Second, capacity absorption. Can Azure and AI demand cover hardware replacement and depreciation? Can it also cover energy and the next data center? Third, partner leverage. Can Microsoft shift among OpenAI and other providers? Can it use proprietary and open models without breaking quality or economics? Fourth, efficiency capture. Who keeps the savings? Microsoft reported a 40% improvement in inference throughput for its most used Copilot models. Cheaper AI may reduce Azure compute revenue per task, but Copilot may become cheaper to serve and easier to spread. The winning layer keeps the savings. Now the machine is complete. Azure consumption, model access, and data services produce revenue. So do Copilot seats, developer subscriptions, metered agents, and OpenAI economic rights. Infrastructure, asset depreciation, inference, research, security, and partner commitments consume cash. Enterprise distribution and workflow form the defensive advantage. Capacity, partner leverage, pricing, and customer returns create risk. Owning AI outright is unnecessary for Microsoft. Success depends on routing demand through Azure. Builders must convert that demand into paid work. Every layer must outrun the factory bill. Build the factory. Own the workflow. Get paid at every layer. Next, we test Google's AI versus search machine. Subscribe, then tell us in the comments. Which business machine should we dissect next?